around 2017, 2018, is when I decided, hey, let me come back to school, And it was like John Jay was calling, and I came right back here to John Jay. I have a classmate who actually explained to me, he's like, hey, look, he said, there's a T-Mobile scholarship for veterans. And I was so overwhelmed, and shocked really, like, oh, there is, hope for veterans to achieve, financial assistance. That actually changed my life.
When I finished my first master's, I'm like, well, what am I gonna do now? What are you gonna do now, Nicole? You have a master's, and I knew I wanted to do more. When I graduated from John Jay with my first master's, I was 29 years old, and I was still young enough. I was older, but I was still young enough to join the Army. And I actually spent my 30th birthday in the Army. And the reason why I'm back here, because I'm trying to become an officer, and I had to mentally, prepare myself to know this is what I really want to do. It doesn't matter how old I am. I'm gonna accomplish this because this is what I want. Paying for college is a big thing because we live in New York City, one of the most expensive cities in the United States, and knowing that T-Mobile donated this money for us to help us with our education means a lot to me. I would have never thought I would have come back to John Jay to get a second master's. I was done, and now I'm back in for a second master's, and I love it. I have support as a veteran, and I would say, if you're in the military and you want to go back to school, I would say do it. And you don't want to live your life with regrets. And you don't want to say, well, I should have did this. Find out what you have to do and make it happen. Without John Jay, I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Being a first generation is scary, and then having to overcome the new language is also another barrier. In Ecuador, I was the top of the 3 students, and so I was scared of having to migrate to a country that I didn't know anything. I knew that here you spoke English, and the only word I knew was chocolate, because you say it's sort of the same, chocolate and chocolate, and I just remember the taunting idea of leaving everything behind. My interest in law enforcement was from a young age. I accompanied my father to a traffic violation. I've always been daddy's little girl, so going there and being by his side and trying to protect my dad as much as I can. I was a young girl, what was I gonna do? But I was scared that something could happen, and I wanted to be there with him. But seeing the atmosphere and all the Latinos that were there, and the prosecutor, and everybody was speaking only English, and having someone that can explain things to you makes such a difference. I want to be there for my community. While I did have DACA by the time that I started college, I knew that I couldn't afford a 4-year college right away. I told myself that I was going to do it regardless, and that I was going to do it now even more for my kid.
My name is Jeff Schlanger. I'm a deputy commissioner at NYPD, and I established the Samuel and Litza Schlanger Scholarship in honor of my mother's coming to the United States as a refugee from Austria in 1938. She had the good fortune to find a benefactor which allowed her to attend college and ultimately be successful and put me on the path to success as well. I chose John Jay because of my interest in public service and law enforcement, and I thought it was an ideal way to meld the two concepts, that of providing a scholarship for immigrants and yet immigrants who want to work in an area that I have an extreme interest in.
I still can't believe my short little self. I'm in the city, I'm going to school in New York City at John Jay, at a criminal justice school, and I'm making it happen. My purpose of being in law enforcement is to have more representation. We have to keep going.
Hi, I'm Pauley Perrette. I played the character Abby Shuto on the show NCIS for 15 seasons. Abby was an incredible forensic scientist in all fields, and she ended up becoming a role model for young girls around the world. They called it the Abby effect, and in real life, young girls were taking inspiration from this fictional TV character and pursuing lives and education in science and forensic science. My character, Abby, made it cool and made it attainable and made it possible for young women. And it really, the inspiration of that character really changed lives around the world, which is something I'm so honored to be a part of. I'm really excited about Alexa getting the scholarship. She just seems perfect to me. You know, she's a hard worker at school and in her own life, working at a bakery. She, you know, her family has a funeral home, and you know, there's just a lot that she does, and she's been able to, you know, also be an excellent student. I know in my heart that she's going to use this scholarship and do great things, and I'm super proud of her. Setting up a scholarship is such a rewarding thing. It was really, the process wasn't that complicated, and I would encourage anyone else that has that kind of desire to do something like that to do it, to place like a legacy of education. I mean, education is what is going to form these young people's lives and guide their path for the rest of their life. And it just feels really good.